Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And today I'm showing more of my Blu Ray DVD collection. This time I'm going through letters H and I in my collection. So stay tuned to see what I have here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well here on a Thursday evening. Just thought I'd do a quick video. I've been going through my Blu Ray DVD collection, which isn't real massive compared to some others. There's a guy named Andy on YouTube. I'm forgetting his name, his channel now. But he has close to 5,000 movies, and I only have like 10% almost of what he has, I think. I know I saw Pete from Platino Guy the other day say he has like 1,000, he thinks. So I have nothing like that. 5,000, that might mean less than 10%. I don't know. I don't have anything near what those guys have. I have roughly around 160, maybe a little more at the moment, and I'm still buying some Blu Rays and DVDs here and there, but I only buy one every couple of weeks probably, so I don't buy a whole lot. But the last Blu Ray, this isn't in alphabetical order, but I just bought this. This is a new movie I bought on Blu Ray, new to my collection. A Few Good Men. One of my favorite, probably maybe my favorite courtroom drama of all time. And I love courtroom dramas. It's always a good way to show really good acting. I mean, it's great to have really good actors come in for small parts. Like get them on a stand, do their thing, get them off, and they're gone. And I love that about it. And this has this script is like one of the most perfect scripts, I think. Great pace. It's humorous. It's got some good drama in it as well. Lots of interesting information through the dialogue and through the prosecuting, what do you call it, of the witnesses. I know that's not the word, but of course, Tom Cruise, absolutely amazing. I think he was already becoming a big actor, but this is one that I thought, man, he really showed himself as one of the best actors out there. Going toe-to-toe with Jack Nicholson, who's one of the all-time great actors. And I would say this is my favorite Jack Nicholson role. As Colonel Jessup is kind of the bad guy, the jerk of the movie. And it's a supporting role. He gets nominated. Should have won the Oscar, I think, for supporting actor, but gives that. Of course, he has the famous "You can't handle the truth," which is like one of the greatest lines of all time and great moment in the movie. That last scene with him and Tom Cruise, so good. I love watching it over and over again. But a lot of good other actors, like Demi Moore does a good job, and then Kevin Pollak, Kevin Bacon, Christopher Guest, Cuba Gooding Jr. is in there, Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, it's a really cool cast overall. But yeah, it's just one of the best dialogue movies, I guess I would say. But yeah, A Few Good Men there. So let's go in H's. First one I got is The Hammer. And if you notice, this is a Blockbuster exclusive. I bought this from Blockbuster when Blockbuster was like going out of business, I think. And so they were like selling their movies because they're just trying to get rid of the movies they had. And so this was like used to be a Blockbuster rental, I'm guessing. So it's like a very used DVD. And it was for really cheap, so I was like, oh, I'll get it. But it's interesting. It's the only DVD I have that has, this kind of very interesting cover with the Blockbuster logo there. And on the sides, you got the Blockbuster thing there. Anyway, so it's kind of cool. It's a little bit of history when we used to rent movies from Blockbuster. We don't do anymore. But this is a really good comedy starring Adam Carolla. If you don't know Adam Carolla, he has tons of podcasts. I like to listen to him. He used to have some shows in the past, and very funny guy. He writes a lot of books, and this is kind of almost biographical in a way because he plays a boxer, a carpenter who teaches boxing lessons, which he did in real life. So it's a little bit of some of fictionalized of his life in a way. It's very small scale, low budget, I would say, because I would say the other actors aren't very good in it, but Adam Carolla is really good in his part. He's kind of playing himself. And so he is very funny, and there's some good dialogue there. And it's a boxing movie, and it's an underdog story, and it's actually really good. It has some really good inspirational moments in it. So besides the comedy, it actually has a really good story to it that I really liked. And this is like one of those movies you probably not many people have heard of. It wasn't a big movie in the movie theaters or anything, but it's like one, if someone's like, hey, here's a movie that if you haven't seen it, let's sit down and watch this. And almost anybody likes the movie when they sit down. Now I'm gonna get into my Harry Potter. I got I dropped all these, so they're out of order now. Anyway, so I'm gonna go through them out of order because I accidentally dropped them. Trying to get them together for this. But here I got the Half-Blood Prince. Interesting cover there, but I'm a big Harry Potter fan. This is the sixth movie. Not crazy about their adaptation. Great book, but I didn't really like it. The movie as much. It's one of my least favorite of the series. Sometime I'm going to do a ranking of all the Harry Potter movies, my favorite, least favorite to favorite. But here we got Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, the fifth one. Again, wasn't super crazy about this adaptation, but I had to get all the Harry Potter movies. Here we got Harry Potter and the Goblet. I'm kind of going backwards now, almost. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is one of my favorite of the Harry Potter movies. Love the kind of change in atmosphere, like not just going to school, but we have this Triwizard Tournament, and a lot of great characters come in here, including Mad-Eye Moody is so good, and we got this who put Harry Potter's name in the Goblet of Fire. That's a really cool mystery, and then you also get Voldemort coming in for the first time with Ralph Fiennes. There we got Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Most people's favorites, I think mostly because it has the best director, probably. He's an Oscar-winning director, Alfonso Cuarón, who's really known for his directing, and so it's real good cinematography and everything in it. Though I'm still not crazy about that one as much as other people. I don't think the humor works very well. And the time travel story is good. I enjoy the very end part, but it's actually not one of my favorites in the series. Here we got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and this is actually one of my favorite of the series. I love the reveal of, what's his name, Riddle. Now I'm forgetting his first name, but the Riddle character, the reveal of that character is so good. Totally blew me away the first time I saw it, so I still love it. Love the little spider sequence in there. Now we're getting to the very first one, Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. Look how young they look, especially Daniel Radcliffe. Looks so young there. One that started it all in the movies. When you watch this, man, the special effects do not look very good. They got way better. You can tell if you watch this one and then Chamber of Secrets, the visual effects are so much better. Like I don't know what happened in this movie, but they didn't quite have the visual effects down. A lot of the flying scenes, like when they do Quidditch, look terrible. They look like just really bad CGI characters. And there's a troll that looks really bad CGI. But it gets so much better in the second movie. And then from second movie to third movie, it gets even better. And it gets actually quite good special effects, but early on, not very good at all. Okay, now we're getting to the last of the movies, Deathly Hallows Part 7, which is okay. I hate that they had to split the last book into two, and it seems like all the really interesting parts happen in the second movie, the last movie, so it almost feels like a filler movie, but it's still got some good moments in it. Actually, it's not a terrible movie. And now we got the last one, the eighth movie in the series, Deathly Hallows Part 2. My favorite in the series. Great ending to a great fantasy series. One of the best fantasy series of all time. Love what they do with the Snape character. I've talked about many times, one of the most emotional moments I've ever had in a movie. Okay, now we're going to get to Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. This is the second one. With Ron Perlman, who's so good as Hellboy, the main character there. I'm not a big fan of the first Hellboy. I don't know. It's very dark, very satanic, kind of the way they do it. Of course, he looks like the devil. That's kind of the whole thing about it. He's called Hellboy, though he's a good guy. He's not a bad guy. But I think Rasputin is the bad guy in the first one. I don't know. It's just a little too dark for me, I guess, and not quite as humorous. And there's like a love triangle I don't care for. In this movie, I still got some of that darkness, but I thought it's got a lot of good humor in it. And the action sequences are really, really well done. I just love Hellboy. He's just a fun character. He's one of those just great, laughs in the face of danger type characters that I really enjoy. So I highly recommend the second one over the first one, personally. Here we got Help, the Beatles' second movie. Let's see, Help. Do you need somebody help? It's funny talking about what's better, Hard Day's Night, which I've had before up in the A section, or Help. I still say Hard Day's Night, but they're fairly close, I think. Help, they both have very silly humor. I think the problem with this movie is they spend too much time with the other characters outside the Beatles. Like, I'm more interested in the Beatles than the bad guy. And there's a lot of scenes with just the bad guy or some other character. And it feels like they're trying to carry the movie because I think the Beatles were just high as a kite most of the time and couldn't remember lines. So they had to give a lot of dialogue to other characters to kind of carry the movie. But the musical sequences are, of course, absolutely amazing. One of my favorite albums, and not a great movie, but still kind of a fun movie to watch if you're a Beatles fan. Then I got How to Train Your Dragon. If you saw my top 10 favorite animation movies live stream that I did some weeks ago, this was, I think, number 9 on my list of my top 10. So it's one of my favorite animated movies. It's my favorite DreamWorks movie, in fact. And I just remember watching this in a movie theater in 3D, and it was the best 3D experience I had. Because there's these really great flying scenes when he's flying on top of Toothless, the dragon. And man, they are really great flying scenes. And in 3D, man, it feels like you're actually flying. Like, I've never had that experience before. I was like, wow, it's like I'm really flying in this movie. And the musical score is just absolutely amazing. And here's the last one of the H's, actually, and this is How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. I like this Grinch's edition. It's my favorite Christmas movie of all time, I say. Only because It's a Wonderful Life, I haven't really counted as a Christmas movie, though. If you count It's a Wonderful Life, that's my favorite Christmas movie, but this is more Christmas-oriented than It's a Wonderful Life, in my opinion. So I always say this is like my favorite Christmas one, because it's all about, of course, Christmas. And Jim Carrey's, my favorite Jim Carrey performance, I thought he really nailed it, and did something with the character I never thought. Like, you never think the Grinch would be in that goofy, silly, comedic type character, of course, and Jim Carrey gets in there, and he uses his physical comedy to totally change that character. And such a funny character, and so many funny bits. And they turned a really short story and made a feature-length film that kind of explains his backstory and does a little better with the relationship between him and Cindy Lou, whatever. So I love that relationship that they developed there in the movie. So I thought they did an absolutely amazing job with that. And it's one I watch every year during Christmas time. I love it so much. Now I'm getting to my eyes. Like, again, I don't know if I have these in order or not, but we'll see. Because I just kind of picked them off my DVD shelf. But I got Inception, my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. I think, and it was in my top 10 favorite movies of the 2000s, if I remember when I did that live stream some time ago. Absolutely love it. Such a great concept idea of going people's dreams and stealing ideas, kind of like a heist. And the idea that you can dream while you're in a dream, which makes absolutely no sense, but cool idea, cool concept. And he did such a good job of it, and really great performance. Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, one of the best actors working today. I thought he gave a great performance. And you get, you know, Paige, I don't know what you want to call that person. And then you got Tom Hardy, first time I've seen him in a movie. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, very good. And Cillian Murphy, I mean, it's really good acting in it. And just a really good story. And I'm kind of a mind boggler, I would say. We're going to get to Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Absolute classic Spielberg, Harrison Ford movie. Great adventure action movie. You can't go wrong with this. One of the best action movies of all time. Really solidified Spielberg as one of my favorite directors. Indiana Jones also one of the best characters ever created. Harrison Ford is so good as that character. So heroic. Love the outfit. Also has got some good humor in it as well, and some grossed out points as well. And then the other one I got is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which you're thinking, where's Temple of Doom? I don't like Temple of Doom, and I've heard some people say Temple of Doom is their favorite. I don't like Temple of Doom at all. There's some good action sequences in there, the whole flooding scene, you know, the scene where the stuff is coming down on their heads going to crush him, and he has to go through this really small spot. Stuff like that. It is such a gross movie. I can't watch it because it grosses me out too much. There's a couple scenes that are just like, oh my God, that's just too gross for me. And it's a PG-13, but I don't know. It sets me the wrong way. Plus, it has probably 2 worst performances I've ever seen, with Kate Capshaw and then the guy who plays Lil Round. I think both of them are just annoying characters. The whole time I'm like, man, I hate these 2 characters. So I don't like the Temple of Doom as much. Oh, and you got the chopping the bridge scene is a great scene. But I absolutely love Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. I actually like this a little bit better than Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I think most people say Raiders of the Ark is their favorite. But I love the dynamic between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery, who plays his dad, even though they're like 15 years apart in real life. But great emotional scenes at the end, I think, and it also has some good humor in it, some good action sequences. But it's mostly that relationship, the father-son relationship, that really pulls it over as one of the best. And I love that tank scene where they're fighting on the tank and it's going to go over a cliff. Really great action sequence. All right, I got just a couple more left, and I already kind of mentioned this. It's A Wonderful Life. I'd say this is, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. If you count it as a Christmas movie, it's my favorite Christmas movie. And I know that it looks like a Christmas movie just looking at it. The only reason why I don't call it a Christmas movie because Christmas only plays like a small part of it to me. The last part of the movie is Christmas, but throughout most movie, it's just about this guy's life and, his growing up and, why he shouldn't throw it away. And anyway, it's got the best premise ever, a guy who wants to throw his life away and he gets shown what his life was like, or what would the world be like without him if he wasn't alive. And him getting to go back through and see how everything's changed because he wasn't around, and see that he was actually very important to everybody, and his life really meant something. And he's such a great character. When I did my top 10 favorite characters on Adam's What the Gems live stream like a week ago, he was number 2 on my second favorite character of all time because he's so nice. He's so giving. He makes sacrifices for others, and he does a lot of good for everybody. And I just love that character. And it's Jimmy Stewart's one of my favorite actors, and he's very charismatic. He's very funny at times, very serious at times. He has some of the great, very serious moments, and he really should have won an Oscar for that role. I thought he was so good. And Frank Capra is one of my favorite directors. Makes really good movies. And the last movie I'm going to talk about in my letter I's, and last one in this video, is a Disney movie called In Search of the Castaways. Kind of from the 60s era, I think, if I remember right. This is not maybe one of the bigger Disney movies, but I absolutely love this movie. I used to watch this like crazy when I was a child. When we, on Ryan's RWR movie live stream, we did our top 10 favorite childhood movies. Top 10 childhood movies, and In Search of the Castaways was like number 6 or something like that, and one of my favorite childhood movies. And I watched it recently. It still holds up as a really fun movie. It's got a lot of action, a lot of travel. They travel to different destinations, and so you get different sceneries, different backgrounds, different situations, and they're always in peril and they have to get out. And yeah, it's just a really fun kind of family adventure movie that I think still works today for me anyway. So yeah, definitely check that one out if you haven't checked it on Disney Plus, In Search of the Castaways. Anyway, so that's the last of my for today, going through the H's and the I's on my list. So just comment, tell me what you think, or what was your favorite movie out of that, I guess, and what ones you own, maybe, whatever. I'd love to read the comments. And so just thank you to everybody for watching this video. Thank you for liking it, and thank you to all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day.